Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, that's how you know. That's how you know how long someone's known me. John Peckman podcast. Jonathan Peckman podcast.
Jonathan Peckman.
That's me. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one satellites, pull a UE, park in the street, in front of the music store with the red neon light. Have your own podcast. Dave will tell you how at the end. Come on here. Be my guest on the show. We are here today. A sad occasion. Today we're going to talk a lot about Eamon Cronin, who left us last week already.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Friday morning is when his sister found him.
Whoa. Yeah. So Skip LeClair is here. Has been here before. Very old friend of mine. Not that he's very old, but we go back a long
very
time.
old. Yeah.
Well, we go back a long, long time. He's been on the show before, but we're here today because of the loss of Eamon. And Skip said, you know, this might be a good time to pay tribute, so that's why we're here. So I'm not going to say a whole lot, except that Skip is the latest guitar player in Riders on the Storm, which was Eamon's thing, or one of his things, and that's why Skip's here. John Powell was supposed to be here and got hung up, drummer, but Skip is the last guitar player.
Correct, that's right.
The last one. So what do you want to tell us? What can you tell us?
Well, I'll start with, we had a lot of late night phone conversations, Eamon and I, and that's how we really became friends. You know, like I told you before, he gave me the gig just on a phone call.
Wow.
I never auditioned or anything like that, you know. And when someone respects you that much as a musician, you got to be humbled, and, you know, I am. So I agreed to do the gig, and he told me, and this is what I loved about him, he was very stubborn about, you're not going to play in bars, you're not going to play in restaurants, you're going to play for real money, and you're going to play at really good places that treat you the way you should be treated.
Yeah.
And he was adamant about that, which is why we didn't play a whole lot, like once a month. But every gig I played with him was a stellar, great gig. Like, you played the Wall Street Theater, right?
Yep.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
What a gorgeous theater.
Yeah, it was killer.
The staff is unbelievable. They feed you. It's really nice. But we only did gigs like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was really
quality, not quantity, as they say.
Super quality. Yeah. And he was really stubborn about that. So last Monday, not this past Monday, but the Monday before, we spent about an hour on the phone, and he said, "Let me throw this by you. I want to do another tour of Europe."
Oh.
And I was like, what do you mean another one? And he sent me a collage of them doing all these countries in Europe: Austria, Belgium, Scotland, Sweden, you name it. They did them. And it was amazing because it sounded, of course, just like the Doors.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, if you're going to do this, who's going to handle it? He said, well, I am. And I was like, okay.
Oh, boy.
It's not 20 years ago. You know what I mean? We need somebody professional to do this. You know, a real agent or a real promoter to do it. And he said, well, I'm on it. I'll take care of it. But keep it under your hat, because I know the other guys aren't going to want to do it.
Oh, wow.
You know, they're not going to want to go.
Would you have, if it were right?
If it were correct? Oh, yeah, I would have loved to, you know, because the theater we would have played in Birmingham is right across the street from my son's house.
Hey.
Yeah, he could have walked there. You know, if we had a break, I could have gone over and had a drink on break and come back.
That's cool.
That's
well,
how
when
close
he's
it was.
doing a monologue or something.
Yeah, right.
Let me tell you about something
Or
that happened
when he's
right
going,
here.
dead cats, dead rats. But he was amazing. I mean, really. The reason I took the gig was he sent me some videos, and I had no idea that they were that accurate. You know?
I never saw him.
Oh, I wish you had, because it was truly. I hate to use the word amazing because everybody uses it, but I was stunned at how incredible he was. You know?
Wow. Did you? I don't remember. Did you know him? How long did you know him?
I didn't. I'd only seen the band open for Texas Flood once.
Okay.
I think in 1998.
Oh, wow.
And Jeff told me, you know, get there early because Riders is really good. And of course, I got there just in time to watch him walk off the stage.
Oh, no.
You know, I saw like the last 3 seconds of the show.
Yeah, right.
But I saw the gear on the stage and went, this is authentic.
Oh, that's
they,
cool.
They had the real Vox,
Yeah.
which we still do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we weren't going anywhere without the real Vox organ, the real Fender key bass.
Yeah,
the real drum set with the Doors logo on the front, and the real leather pants and sunglasses and all that, which, you know, I'm really going to miss it. And I'm going to miss him because over the past year, I really grew to love the guy. And John Pell always said, once you get to know him, you're going to love him.
Yeah.
And he's going to drive you crazy. He is, because he's a handful.
Yeah.
And he's very stubborn, and he's very adamant about what he wants, but he was a perfectionist. So the first gig I played, of course, I told you he didn't make it. So I had to play the gig without him and sing all the songs.
All right.
Right.
Tell us
one?
that story
Okay.
again.
It was almost a year ago today.
Wow.
We were playing at Crystal Bees. He said, I got a gig for you. You know, when he talked to me on the phone and gave me the gig, he goes, I got your first gig, Crystal Bees. There's an opening band. It's a Robin Trower tribute. And, get there at 5 and do a sound check. So he calls me like at 4 that afternoon. He goes, can you come pick me up? And he lived in New Britain. He didn't have a car. He didn't have a driver's license. So I went and I picked him up. And he comes staggering out to the car and goes, you got to bring me to the hospital. And I went, why? He said, I'm having heart palpitations. So I said, they told me to come get you and bring you to the gig.
Yeah.
So I brought him to the gig, and he never made it in the door. I went back out to the car, and there was an ambulance in the parking lot, and he was going to the hospital.
Oh.
So anyway, Eric Smith, the promoter, goes, just get up and do Jim Morrison. I was like,
Whoa.
I talked about this at the last podcast. And I got up and I did it. And I thought it was horrible, but everybody loved it. I mean, Steve Montana was there, and everybody said, you killed it. I was like, I didn't kill it. It almost killed me.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that was the first gig.
Wow.
So the second gig was...
So you still never even saw him at this
I met him
point,
for
still.
10 seconds in my car, and he was like almost incoherent. He was in really bad shape, and he was having heart palpitations.
And what did it ever end up being? Who knows?
Don't know.
Okay.
Part of he had a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So the next gig was actually the Wall Street Theater.
Okay.
Which was a month later, and we got there, and it was awesome. It was just great.
Yeah.
What a great show.
Yeah.
Sold out, 900 seats, something like that. It was really fun. So he called me the next day and went, Jeff said you were a ringer, but I had no idea.
Hey.
And I was like, I was kind of flattered. He goes, no, you killed it.
That's great.
However, you got to play it more exactly like the record.
Oh, really?
Which I thought I had.
Yeah.
And then, I thought about it, and of course I hadn't.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I woodshedded him again. And then the next gig we played, I think it was the Broadbrook Opera House. And that was sold out as well. That was one of the most fun gigs I ever played. And it was spot on, because I saw the videos and I went, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I went back and I just really, really picked the songs apart.
Yeah.
I don't exactly have Robbie Krieger's tone. I'm a little more aggressive than that, but
Yeah.
I learned the parts exact.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
And then he was really happy about that.
Nice.
So, and then the next gig was another Crystal Bees gig, which went over great. That was really good. And another, we sold it out, standing room only. And it seemed that everywhere we went, it was like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So about 3 weeks ago, we were supposed to do Wormtown.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically a big cannabis fest.
Sure.
3 days, 3 days of white kids with dreadlocks and tie-dye shirts.
Yeah.
And he had a massive seizure the day before that, and spent 8 days in the hospital.
Oh, boy.
And he called me the moment he got out of the hospital.
Huh.
I can't believe we missed the gig. I said, dude, you were in the hospital.
Wow.
He was so pissed that we had to cancel the gig.
What I want to, I guess we can't speculate, but his demise could have been any number of things.
I don't know.
I
yet.
suppose.
I still haven't.
Just leave it at that. I did not know that his health was that poor.
Well, he was prone to seizures.
Okay.
And the last 20 he had knocked him for a loop. He was in the hospital 8 solid days. And I guess his friend was with him when he had it. They were down at the beach or something. And thank God his friend was with him. Or, he probably could have died from that. And then he was fine. I mean, I talked to him every day after that for the past week and a half, and he was completely fine. I mean, he wasn't like speech impaired or anything like that. And Wednesday night, he called me and he said, okay, Atlantic City, Friday. We're going to leave 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Be at my house. I rented a 12-passenger van
Yep.
to bring us down, and I got a driver to bring us back.
Cool.
So I'm like, totally cool. I'm already packed. I'm like that. If
Really?
I'm looking forward to a gig, I'm ready days in advance.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't have to play every day, I got plenty of time to get ready. I never used to be like that. But it was Thursday. I called him Thursday morning, and he didn't call me back. And I went, okay, he probably lost his phone again, because he's prone to losing his phone or just not getting back to you for a day or two.
Sure.
And so I kept getting a hold of him, and he was really psyched for Atlantic City. It was the Wave Theater in Atlantic City, which is a great gig.
Okay.
Everybody gets their own beautiful room, and the total rock star treatment. which is typical riders.
Yeah,
You know, so it was, as I started calling John Pell, and John's getting mad, going, "Oh, what's he doing now? Is he, he's just being irresponsible." I said, "Well, give him a minute." So I kept calling him Wednesday night. Thursday during the day, and Thursday night he still hadn't gotten back to me. So we're supposed to leave tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Right.
And I'm going, wait a minute, he's psyched about this. He should be at least getting back to me.
Sure.
So I start texting him, and my text Thursday morning at 9 o'clock was, check 1, 2, is this thing on?
Right. Yeah.
And nothing. Because he would have got that joke.
Sure.
And nothing. So about an hour later, it's 10 o'clock, and we're supposed to be leaving.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from him. So my next text was, anything, with 2 question marks. Nothing.
Whoa.
So around 11 o'clock, John calls me and he goes, I haven't heard from him either. Nothing. I got nothing. And I said, we got to send somebody to check.
And he's in New York.
No, he's in New Britain now.
Oh, okay.
He's been living in New Britain for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from New York City.
Okay.
He's born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So he called his sister Lisa and said, you got to go check on him.
Yeah.
And within 45 minutes, I got the text. And the first 2 words of the text were, he's dead.
Oh.
And what the rest of the text was, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even read it.
Ooh.
And I just put my head down. And I had gone to work because I figured if we're not going to the gig, I'm going to go to work. I'm not going to waste a vacation day. So I'm serious. And John did the same thing.
Yeah,
You know, he said, we don't hear from him by 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
I'm just going into work.
Sure.
And then, we'll figure it out from there. And I put my head down, and my boss came out, who he's actually a fan. And he said, what? I said, he's dead. And he looked at me and went, really? I said, yeah. He goes, you got to go home.
Yeah.
So I went home, and on my way home, I bought a 6-pack of PBR, and I went home and I drank the whole thing.
Oh boy.
I was just medicating myself, like that works.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
But so, that was it. And Saturday, I woke up, and that's when it really hit me. Mm-hmm. And I'd become such good friends with him over the past year and a half.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, my friend's gone. And we're doing Crystal Bees Saturday night.
Yeah.
We're giving him a send-off.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to hit by then, but you probably don't need this help. But let the record show. This is now Thursday. Today.
Yeah, right. This is in 2 days. So
right.
We've already heard that if you don't get there early, you're not getting in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody's going to be there.
Sure.
I mean, he had so many friends.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, 34 years the band was together.
Wow. I didn't
34
realize
years.
it was that
He started in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Early 1990. So almost 34 years.
Wow. That's
It's
insane.
sad. I mean, the news spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
I mean, Toad's Place just did a big tribute to him.
Wow.
On their Facebook.
Well, you know what?
thing,
You texted me pretty early.
Yeah. I texted a couple of people. Doug.
And I
LaChapelle.
didn't say any, I just okay,
Right.
And I waited until I saw it start to blow up on Facebook,
Right.
and I was like, okay. And then I don't know, I said one little thing, but yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't, it doesn't matter because I didn't know him that well, so I'm not. I'm not like, oh, I got the scoop. I'm gonna tell everybody how sad I am or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't post anything on Facebook until I knew that everybody knew.
That's
the first person I called.
Especially me, because I'm not even in the inner circle. I'm like, I'm not going to be the one to.
The first person I called 5 seconds after I got that text was Jeff. And Jeff broke down crying.
Yeah, sure.
He just broke down crying.
Yeah. He met. Yeah,
I had to give him 30.
Too.
I had to give him 30 seconds before to contain himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I had to be the guy to tell you. He goes, why'd they let him out of the hospital? Why'd they let him out? He should have still been in the hospital. I mean, he was beside himself. I mean, he's really, really broken up about it.
Yeah, it's I reached out to him too, and I
Yes.
just said, if you want, I mean, because
They were dear friends since they were kids.
But just if you want to come and represent, go ahead. And he just was like, no, I'm too upset.
I asked him to come to this.
Yeah.
I asked him. I said, "Do you want to come with me and John Pell?" And he said, "No." He said, "No, I got too much anxiety right now about this. It's going to take a while for him to get over."
Or maybe some, eventually.
Sure.
And also, I'm just saying, if anybody's watching, I'm not like I said, I wasn't that close to him, so this might not be I might not be the best source, but I figure we're here. We'll just use this as
absolutely.
a thing. So if there's anyone watching that wants to come on with me and do a tribute or talk about him
I'm
more,
sure the Max Creek guys.
Yeah, anyone's more than welcome if you're watching this.
Because he was really tight with the Max Creek camp.
Yeah.
Very, very close to those guys.
Yeah.
And I called Doug LaChapelle. He was like the second guy I called.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so,
Sure.
Because we
go
way back, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, if anybody wants to come on and tell stories, I don't know, you know, maybe we'll do a round table or something. We'll have people.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know, we should do something.
There's probably at least 50 people that would love to come and do an hour.
So if anybody has any ideas, just hit me up and we'll figure something out.
Cool.
But yeah,
I wish I had a lot more to say, except, you know, I'm still reeling from this.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to come to terms with it, you know, because every day the realization hits you even more and more. And then I saw the pictures of him, you know, that everybody's posted, like is on his obituary. There's pictures of me and Doug and Gordy Gould, the old sound guy from the Broadbrook show.
Yeah, right.
From in
right.
June, you know,
Sure.
back. And I want to cry every time I see it. You know, it's like I really loved him. I mean, if you knew him, you loved him. He had the most sarcastic sense of humor, but he was also incredibly bright.
Yeah.
And music trivia, he wins, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
He wins. And a lot of people don't know he sang in the Animals.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he did the Animals for a few years.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, did the whole world with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, We Gotta Get Out of This Place and all that stuff. He sang all those songs.
That's great.
He played with the original guys.
Yeah.
Except for Chas Chandler, who was dead,
Sure,
but with Hilton.
Wow.
And Hilton actually lived like 2 streets over from
In
me.
Wallingford.
Yeah. He was great. What a character he was. I used to see him at the post office all the time.
That's funny.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, imagine that.
I know. I couldn't believe that. Like the guy I idolized when I was 6.
Yeah, there he is.
I'm standing in line with him at the Packy down the street.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Wallingford, Connecticut, center of the universe, the musical world.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, crazy things happen
Yeah.
this week. Yeah.
I don't have much to say. I didn't know Eamon that well. I hung out with him a little bit. Yeah, and he was awesome. Hilarious.
We had dates on the calendar up until I think April.
Wow.
Yeah, we were back at Wall Street. Daryl's house.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Jeez. There's a bunch of them. We were supposed to do the Berlin Fair, but somehow we got bumped.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what happened there. That would have been good.
That's my town. Berlin. That's where I live now. Yeah.
You live in Berlin now?
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's a nice town.
Yeah, it is.
I like Berlin.
Cool.
Really nice, quaint. It's like Wallingford.
Yeah.
Nice and cool, crimeless.
Yeah, it's chill.
Everybody
Well, it was crimeless.
Everybody has a job.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
about.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Crimeless till I moved there.
You know, and my heart really goes out to his sister, Lisa,
Yeah.
who he was incredibly close with. And Lisa's the one who basically found him.
Oh, boy.
You know, and she would be backstage doing his hair.
Oh.
Went out. Oh yeah, she'd do his hair up and make it diet and do
That's
it
so
out and make
funny.
him look like Jim Morrison. She's sweet lady.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I remember, I don't know if anybody saw this on Facebook, but I thought it would be interesting. I'll tell the story again, just because, you know, people who knew him and can tell a million stories and talk about their history with him. I didn't really know him that well at all, but I do remember it was probably 1988 or 89. It was probably with K-Man Band, probably. We played at the Living Room in Providence.
I played there.
Okay.
I remember that place.
Okay.
Yeah, the living room.
So we did a double bill with Midnight Sun.
Midnight Sun.
Who I never heard of.
He would have been the drummer.
Right?
Right.
And he was the drummer. And because it was so long ago, I can't put my finger on what he did. But it wasn't something impressive. But it did. I walked out of there going, oh, there's another way to do this. And I don't remember what he did, just the way he played. It just was righteous, and there was space and a groove.
He could play drums.
Right.
Yeah,
and
he was a great drummer.
I wish that I could remember what it was that he did, but I remember it like it was yesterday, leaving that gig going, wow, okay. Because I was just like Mr. Chops. I wasn't
of course.
there yet,
Right. You're young.
or
Me
whatever.
too.
And,
Look what I can do.
but whenever I would hear his name, you know, he wasn't Riders on the Storm to me. It was that drummer that I saw that one time.
He had a very relaxed feel.
It must have been what it was.
Yeah, very relaxed feel. Almost like a John Bonham.
Yeah.
Way behind the beat.
Yeah.
You know, it's this, not this.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's that? Charlie. Who taught Neil Peart in the last.
Oh, Charlie Donnelly. Yeah.
That's the guy who said, it's not this.
Yeah, it's this, the in between.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he actually was born with that, had that.
Yeah, I don't know his history, but I posted that, and then I had people saying that he was at Hart. I think,
yeah, he went to the conservatory in Hartford too.
Oh, there you go.
He had a lot of music education.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, he would tell me, see what you're doing right there? That's a minor 7.
Oh,
I thought that was augmented. He goes, no, it's not augmented. It's a minor 7. It's a major 7. And I was going, oh, he's right.
Oh boy.
And he's a drummer.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, he had musical definitely knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, music trivia, mind blowing music trivia for his age. Yeah, he was 56.
My age.
Yeah, same year, same as my younger brother.
Wow.
Almost 10 years younger than me.
Huh.
I officially went on Medicare.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
What's it like?
It's better than the insurance I had. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll be 65 November 10th.
Whoa.
I know.
Wow.
Because you don't look 65. Yeah, I do. Trust me, I do.
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy. Linda's retiring next year.
She's my age.
Yeah,
We're the
right.
same age. I mean, I forgot to tell you this last time. I remember in 4th grade, she was Linda Lannis.
Yes. Yep.
And we came back to 5th grade. She was Linda Peckman.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
did she get married?
Yeah. No.
Well, how's that work?
Oh.
I was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like your dad adopted her.
Letting out the family secret.
She was Linda Lannis.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So, all right, in case people don't know, so the Republic of Wallingford, Connecticut, and that's why that door needs to be shut. So Wallingford, Connecticut, I have a sister, 9 years older, who used to have her no good hippie friends come when she was supposed to be babysitting me. My parents would go up the driveway, and then the house would fill with guitar.
Ne'er-do-well 13-year-olds.
Yeah. And one of them was you.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Probably the first person I ever saw play a guitar.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you were the dude with the
Oh,
guitar.
the guy in the doorway hanging with his
Yeah.
feet? That was me.
Oh, wow.
Come to think of it, yeah, that was me. I used to climb up the doorway with my feet and sit there like that.
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh, that's so funny. So,
One of my
we
many
have
talents.
family history. But yeah, Linda, my mom was married before. And so my dad adopted my sister, Linda Peckman, who's now Linda Quigley.
Linda Quigley. So she's had 3 last names.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, she's retiring next year.
Good
That's
for
it.
her.
Yeah, why not?
Can't wait till I can retire.
Oh, really?
I don't think I'll ever be able to, but
really?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, she's a teacher. I don't know. There's some kind of plan.
There's probably some kind of a pension or something like
something
that. I have
like
a very small pension from another job I had that I'm hoping comes through in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Then I can at least start thinking about not having to get up every morning and go to work.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
What's funny was when I played music, I couldn't wait to go to work.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
right,
I couldn't wait. I love going to work.
That's
I got to
so
get there like 3 hours early.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But once you don't do that for a living anymore, and you got to have a day job. It's like, my God.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I had kids. And,
Yeah, I guess that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Unless you're a jerk. You know? I'm not. So once I started having, children, I was like, I got to be a responsible dad here somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
So I bit my tongue and just went and did it.
Yeah, right. Oh, well. Yeah, it happens.
What's life?
You're not missing anything. I mean, actually,
Well, I know.
that's too bad because, like you say, with writers, at least you're doing like a real gig.
It was a great gig.
You know.
Yeah, it was a great gig.
Well, who knows?
I'm not ruling out or burning any bridges or saying it's even gonna stop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
It's like they say no one's irreplaceable. I think Eamon was irreplaceable.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I can't imagine anybody could fill those Beatle boots.
Yeah,
no
right.
way.
Right.
Because when you go back and look at some of the videos and listen, man, you cannot tell
Wow.
it's not Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
You can't tell.
I'll have to check it out.
And he could do other things too. I mean, vocally.
I bet.
Like all kinds of stuff.
I bet.
He could sing country music.
Wow.
Anything.
Yeah.
But when he put those sunglasses on, man,
That was it.
holy cow.
Jimbo.
I'm still amazed. I would be next to him, and he dwarfed me on stage. He's 6'4", 250
Yeah,
pounds,
yeah,
and I'm 5'7", 140 pounds. When you see the pictures or the videos, man, I look like a midget next to him. And I had a great rapport with him on stage. I mean, really, he was always coming over talking to me.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun, man. I got some great pictures and some great memories. I really wish I'd played a lot more gigs, with him.
Yeah.
And a couple of them got canceled because of his health and things like that. That would have been good. And, Atlantic City, we weren't thrilled at having to drive, 4 hours for a gig.
Sure.
But we all had nice hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And, you get
It'll
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It just becomes like a little vacation. For me.
Yeah, no. I hear you. Yep. I've done gigs like that.
That's just it. It's just a little getaway for me. Like, let my brain relax and play my guitar.
Right. Just worry about that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
which I don't worry about. I just I just close my eyes and go.
Yeah.
It's not work for me, really. A lot of people you see them working real hard. Watch me play. I'm not making those faces like this. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
And I've never had that that rock star attitude where this is so cool. It's just is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm blessed to be able to do this, and I will never take that for granted.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, but I just the older I got, the more I realized I didn't have to learn this.
Yeah, right.
I just had it, you know? And that sounds cocky and arrogant, but it's the truth. I mean, I was 8 years old and I was like, I can do this. This is easy. Who can't do this,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I guess that's why people say, wow, you make it look so easy, because it is.
Yeah.
Right. For some people, it's not. You teach,
Yeah.
One out of 50, it's easy for.
Right.
And the other 49, it's extremely difficult for.
Sure.
And if it's not easy for them, they're never really going to be able to do it well. Well, maybe if they really find a way to do it. But I think if you can't do it naturally, it's really never going to sound natural.
Right.
It's going to always sound tight or forced.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It's hard.
Music's
It's hard.
such a weird thing.
It's hard. Yeah, it is weird. It's hard to say.
It's like artists. You get kids that want to learn how to draw, so they go to art school. You get a guy like Paul Harriet that just
right.
He could be blind and he'd draw the best picture you ever saw in your life.
Sure. Well, I think
unbelievable.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't understand it as much as anyone. But if you don't have anything to say inside, you don't have anything to express.
Right. I agree.
What you learn is just the tools to express it. And if all you have is the tools, but nothing expressed, then all you hear is the tools. You don't hear the thing.
When I hear you play the drums, I know it's you.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. Like when I hear Eddie Van Halen play guitar, you know it's him.
Sure.
And everyone's always told me, as soon as I hear you play, I know it's you.
Yeah.
Even though you're playing, a song by somebody else, and you're doing it pretty accurately, I still tell it's you.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the biggest compliment.
You know Matt Starr? Do you know Matt?
I knew Matt way, way back when he was in Run 21.
Yeah, right.
When he was Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
We used to just call him Bomb.
Yeah.
I really love him. What a character. He's so friendly. I mean, he's talking to
Yeah.
everybody else, but I haven't seen him since then.
Oh, really?
But what a natural, great drummer.
Right.
Oh,
so we talk all the time. We were just talking about that the other night. It's like, so any drummer can play the most basic beat in the world. That's the first thing I teach all my kids.
I can do that.
Right. So I go, so why? So to me, that's the test is like, if everybody can play that, but everybody plays it and it sounds different, what is that? You know what I mean? The intensity or
it's
the
like
way
your voice.
Right.
Everybody can say the same words.
That's the true test.
It's the same words.
Right.
But when I hear you say them, I know it's you.
Right.
Right? I mean, think about that.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows
It's like your signature.
Yeah. Well, I would say to kids, like, if they're old enough, I've probably had this conversation before, but, play them Highway to Hell or Back in Black or something and go, play that. You could tell what it is. It's just a straightforward beat. Like, well, why doesn't it sound like that when you play it? Why do you think that is? And they'll go, I don't know why. And I'll go, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Phil Rudd, but let's see if we can figure it out.
Well, because there's only one Phil Rudd.
There's only one Phil Rudd.
Right, exactly. And when he talks to you, you know it's him.
Yeah.
It's exactly like your voice. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to have been blessed with, the ability to do it easily, that will come across more.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. I think so.
I always told every kid I taught, don't ever try to do it exactly the way the guy did it.
Yeah. Sure.
Do it your way.
Sure.
It'll sound better.
Yeah.
And it'll be easier for you
Yeah.
And I
Right.
no one ever told me that, but that's the way I always did it.
Right.
Now it's easy. But if you try to do it the way someone else did it, it's never going to be easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I could do Rodney Dangerfield, like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
But
you didn't make those jokes up.
exactly. Right. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, believe me, I know every line he ever did by heart.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm famous for my Rodney.
Oh, that's great.
You didn't know that?
No, not really.
I'll tell you, my daughter, she's no bargain either. Oh, I know thousands of them. We were on the road. I think it was 1984.
Oh, boy.
My buddy Donnie had a van. We only had 2 tapes. Richard Pryor live on Sunset Strip and Rodney Dangerfield live at somewhere. And we used to play them constantly. And I learned every single line from the Rodney Dangerfield thing. That's
I got a
too good.
I was going through and went on a vinyl hunt, and I found an old Henny Youngman record.
Oh God!
And I told Paul about it, and she goes, "Oh, that's funny, but
Take my wife guy.
yeah, play it. I said, no. After dinner, we're gonna go sit downstairs and put the record on and listen to it like we're supposed to."
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Was it good?
Oh, it's great. It's like,
That's why they became famous, because they were so talented at what they did.
all right, this has nothing to do with anything, but then I was thinking about it, like with Henny Youngman or Rodney, it's like content. Like now, a comedian will spend 20 minutes telling the story about how they took their dog to the vet, and there's this is like one joke.
Oh, one-liners after another
for an
yeah,
hour.
Absolutely.
I'm like, how much content?
I'll tell you, my doctor gave me 6 months to live.
Yeah.
What do you say? My doctor said, you're definitely going to die. I said, I want a second opinion. He said, okay, you're ugly too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was it. That's the end of that joke.
Yep.
Then we're on to the next one.
Boom. Like, so you have to come up with that many jokes.
It was boom, 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 boom. It was like riffs, just
Crazy.
little one riff after another.
Totally.
Yeah.
crazy.
Now the guys will spend 20 minutes talking about how,
Right.
they couldn't leave the store without a receipt or whatever.
Right.
But I've seen there's some great comics out there.
Oh yeah. I just was impressed with the Henny Youngman thing. I'm like, tell a joke, wait for the laughs to end, tell another joke,
Yep.
and that's it.
Well, that was the old way they did it. You know what I mean?
There's no
I remember
other way
playing
to
the
do it.
Catskills,
Oh boy.
and this is like 1981.
Dave used to. If he was there, he would tell you.
And
yeah.
the Catskills were done.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
1981, you'd go into this place, have red shag carpeting, gold lame curtain behind the stage, and I remember the club owner going, "Shecky Green played this room."
Okay.
What, 1949?
Yeah.
It was like, wow, the Catskills, because that was the happening place for those guys back then. The Catskills. What's going on up there now?
I don't know.
Probably nothing.
I never played there. I think Dave did. If he were here, he could tell us some stories.
The Catskills. So yeah, getting back to the writers thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm hoping we can, John Pell and I and Rob can go on and keep playing music somehow together.
Yeah.
Because one thing I will say, this is the first time in my life that I got together with 3 guys.
Yep.
2 other guys.
Yep.
2 other musicians. Drums and keyboards with no bass player, and within 3 seconds, with never having met each other.
Yeah.
It gelled like amazing.
Hey, that's cool.
Like amazing. Like within the first measure of the first song, I was like, wow, this is just easy. I don't even have to look at these guys. Well, they also knew the gig a lot better than I did. And that's rare,
I know.
You know,
I've been thinking that. Lately.
never rehearsed, just met.
Wow.
And boom, the lights are on, go. And, open it up with when the music's over.
Whoa.
And killing it. I mean, not just like, for me to be going, we just killed that.
Yeah.
Was like, and the first time we did it,
Oh boy.
Wall Street Theater, Eamon used to fall down like Jim Morrison. You ever see Jim Morrison fall down?
Sure.
On the stage, boom. He didn't tell me he was going to do it.
Oh boy.
So we're in the middle of when the music's over, and
Yeah.
I'm not looking. I'm looking at the balcony at this girl who's waving to me. And he falls down in front of me, and I didn't see it. And I go to turn around, and he's looking up at me like this. And he's kind of like, did he fall down or do that on purpose? And I know that that's when Jim Morrison,
the thing.
he used to do that in the song. But I could see the look of pain on his face because, he's getting too old to do that. And his back had been bothering him. And I'm looking. The next day, my sister said, you should have seen the look on your face when you looked down and saw Eamon looking up at you.
Oh, boy.
Because I said to him after the gig, I said, you got to warn me when you're going to do that.
Yeah.
You just tell me you're going to do that, and I'll be ready for it. I'll get out of the way. It's like, holy cow, you're a big guy, man. You know,
That's funny.
Like, yeah, I'll never forget that, because I just looked down and he was looking up at me. Like,
Whoa.
oh, great.
Yeah, Lizard King needs some help. Here, help me out.
Yeah, I couldn't begin to pick him up.
Oh, man.
He was a big guy, man.
Yeah.
Really big tank.
Yeah. So, what is the most, for you, what was the most challenging song?
The most challenging song was the solo in Light My Fire.
Oh.
Because it's 15 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
And I had to play it spot on.
Wow.
No improv whatsoever.
Really?
No improv. No.
Wow.
None. Spot on. Because the first night we did it, I kind of
Yeah,
did my own
sure.
thing with it a tiny bit. And after the gig, he said, don't ever do that again.
Really?
No, he said, no, it's got to be.
Exact.
It's got to be. It's got to be exact. He said,
Oh.
so I went home and I picked it apart again.
Yeah.
And now I do it exactly like the record.
Yeah.
Now it's easy.
Yeah.
But that was one of the most difficult things. And the rest of it was kind of easy. I mean, Robbie Krieger just kind of, well, plus we try to sound like the Absolutely Live album.
Right.
As much as the records.
Sure.
Like the hits we try to do just like the record, but the Absolutely Live album, like When the Music's Over and the big long songs and 5 to 1, that stuff.
Yeah.
He pretty much just let me go, you know, and that.
Yeah, right.
As long as you're staying within, you know,
Right,
Robbie's thing.
Sure.
Just, you know, turn the fuzz box way up.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
The feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would have fun with that. But he would let me know when he wanted me to stop.
Yeah.
He would turn around and go like this.
Yeah, right.
Always very discreet, you know.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
let the audience see it.
Yeah, that's
It's like, okay, it's time to stop. I'm gonna
Get
sing
in there.
now. Yeah, sing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to work with, man. He really was. But a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Like I've never worked with in my life.
Wow.
Complete perfectionist,
Wow.
like the solos and stuff. And after the first show, he said, you know, go home. I want you to nail the solos.
Wow.
Not just do them, nail them.
Wow.
And I went home and I did.
And you didn't know when you did the gig that was going to be that gnarly.
I knew it had to be accurate,
Yeah.
but not.
You didn't know the singer was going to be all over you.
Right.
That's the thing.
Got to be perfect. And
Well, there you go.
And now I know why, you know, writers got those great gigs.
Yeah.
And got the money and you know.
Right.
That's why. You know, we never played. And one thing he taught me that I'll be forever grateful was you're better than that, better than playing in bars. You're better than playing in restaurants. You deserve to be playing in beautiful venues for really good money and being treated like a musician, not like kitchen help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean about he was adamant and stubborn about that. But that's cool.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think anybody that was ever in this band will tell you the best gigs they ever played were with this band.
Hey.
You know? I mean, when I got to Wall Street Theater, the guy came out to my car, got my stuff.
Yeah, right.
I was like, thanks, man. He goes, you don't thank me. I get paid for this.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
and they wired everything for me, set up my pedal board, checked my mics and stuff. And I went downstairs and had a nice chicken marsala dinner with,
Yep.
with roasted broccoli and Blue Moon beer and stuff. And it was just beautiful.
I did that gig with Howard.
Yeah, with running on empty.
Yeah.
That was another sad ending you heard about, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to come back, though. I think.
I don't know.
I think Doc Rock is going to really come back.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That was shocking too.
Yeah.
Howard told me the minute it happened.
He was here. Jonathan was here days before.
Yeah, I remember. I saw the podcast. Yeah, that was tragic. It's stuff that you're just not ready for, and it's shocking. And when you're in shock, it's so hard to process what just happened.
Yeah.
Because you got to decompress for a second and say, okay, this just happened.
Yeah.
It took me 2 days.
Yeah.
Really,
Sure.
before I was like, you know, I woke up. Like I said, I woke up Saturday morning and went, holy crap, this is.
Yeah.
He's gone. You know,
Yeah.
he's gone. My friend's gone. I'm going to miss our late night phone conversations most of all.
Yeah.
Because he would call me. He was really funny. He was a really funny guy. He could do an Irish. He was Irish.
Yeah.
And his father was born in Ireland. you
Okay.
know. And he could do an Irish accent and make you piss your pants.
Oh,
laughing.
really?
Oh, laddie, let me tell you, laddie.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny.
That's so funny.
And when I told him I was going to Birmingham to my son's wedding, and he went, I wish I was coming with you. I know every inch of Birmingham. Turns out he spent lots of time in Birmingham, England.
Wow.
He told me all about the place. He was right. You know,
Wow.
Yeah, he loved Ireland, Birmingham, England,
Wow. That's
and
cool.
and Amsterdam
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
It was no secret that Eamon loved his weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, every day at 4:20
Yep,
on Facebook,
yep.
he would post this
Yep,
4:20
yep,
bitches
yep,
every single day.
Yep.
He never missed a day, ever.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
chronic.
Yeah, that happens.
But I'm still kind of chomping at the bit to find out, what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't know yet.
I don't know. When are the services? They're
Tuesday, October 24th.
okay.
In Wethersfield.
Okay, so coming up
from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bell texted me last night and said, I'm having trouble getting on the site. I don't know when the services are. So I texted him back and told him when they were. And he said, it was down for a minute while they were putting a picture up.
Yeah.
And so he'd gotten the information. He said, I'm going to get there early because it's going to be packed.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
There'll be thousands of people there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go.
It's going to be like crazy packed. I have to go. I can't. I can't miss this.
Yeah. So John Powell was the drummer.
Yep.
He's been here. John's been here.
Yeah. I wish you had gotten Rob Blaney here, the keyboard player.
Well, let's hook it up.
Great guy.
Okay.
Great guy.
If you're hearing us, come on in. Yeah, I don't know.
Rob probably isn't hearing us, but I'll tell him to.
Yeah, tell him to.
I'll tell him to.
Yeah.
And he's another one. We had this guy Ryan Daly, who virtually was Ray Manzarek.
Really?
The first gig I played.
Oh, really? So there was
what Eamon was to Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
he was to him. He even looked like him.
Wow.
I've never seen anybody or heard anybody do it like that.
Huh.
Incredible. Kind of scary.
So was in it last?
Rob.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob. See, Ryan moved to South Carolina.
Okay.
He was coming down here from New Jersey to play the gigs. He lived in New Jersey his whole life.
Yeah.
And he was doing all the tour gigs and all this stuff. So he finally moved to South Carolina. And
I just unplugged.
You unplugged your ears.
Stepping on my own.
Yeah. So when Ryan left, Eamon told me I got a guy, Rob Blaney. He's played with the band a million times.
I got you.
He played with the band a million times. So the Wall Street Theater was the first gig that I met Rob.
Okay.
And we became really friends immediately.
He's playing the Vox.
Playing the Vox and the
Fender
key bass.
Yeah.
And now we have the Gibson.
Oh boy.
The real Gibson organ, the one that Ray Manzarek used later, which is a much more aggressive sound organ. Okay. So that's like on L.A. Woman and Waiting for the Sun. Yep. And when you listen to that, you can tell he's playing a different keyboard. It doesn't have that Farvisa 60s kind of sound. It's more of a growly keyboard, organ sound.
And never a B3, huh?
Never. No.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the Gibson organs, they were Kalamazoos and they were Gibsons. And Eamon owns them. He owned two Gibsons, the Vox Continental and the Fender Keybase, but Ryan's were in pristine condition.
Really?
His Fender Keybase looked like it was made yesterday.
Yeah.
The silver sparkle.
Yeah.
I've never seen a piece of gear that old in that condition. That's actually being used.
Yeah. We had one at my high school.
The Fender
Keybase.
Rhodes Keybase?
Yeah.
At Sheehan?
Yep.
I wonder if it's still there.
It might be. I don't know why.
Although I was in Sheehan's auditorium doing plays with Mary Kingsland.
Yeah.
Eklund, whatever her name was, the Wallingford Theater. And I went all through that backstage area. I didn't see one. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was at, well, I was
my
in
son
high
was
school.
in the play. My son's really in the theater.
Yeah. What's he doing? So which one went to Birmingham?
Him, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the artist.
Oh, boy.
He's an artist.
And what's he doing out there?
Nothing.
Oh, cool. That's good. Why there?
He married his bride is from there.
Okay.
And Beck did not want to move here. So he said, I want to move there. And he said, I was homesick for the first couple of weeks. He said, but when I came home at Christmas, I was homesick for England.
Oh, boy.
He loves it there.
That's how you know.
Loves it there.
Hey, well, that's cool.
And she makes good money.
How did he meet her?
On the internet somehow.
Really?
Well, they're real like anime nerds.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very proud that he is, because I'd rather have my kid be a
than a marijuana
right
nerd
be a nerd than to be some cool jerk in jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's my son, Ice LeClair. He's doing 20.
Yeah, he killed 3 dudes.
Both my kids are real,
Right.
They still play Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, man.
33 years old. My son still plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Is he
I
gonna
love
be
it.
mad that you said that?
No, I love I love that. Cool. I love it. Yeah, like
That's so funny.
I'd rather have them be
Right.
Because I think the nerds are the true cool kids.
Yeah,
they really are.
I agree.
Because they don't care if they have the latest shoes,
right,
or the latest clothes, or the hairdos. My kids never asked for any of that stuff.
Oh man,
ever.
Yeah,
which is cool because it saved me a fortune.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't want Air Jordans or the latest clothes. They couldn't be less interested in that.
Wow. I was the same way. I remember vividly. So we were from in town. You know where we live, where the library is. And then we moved out to suburbia. The whole different scene.
Way up on the west side.
Yeah,
I remember.
And I remember, I wouldn't say it's not like rich kids, but it's a different scene.
Oh, it's a whole different scene. But you lived in the center. Well, you were a nice part of Wallingford.
Yeah, sure. But we were, whatever. But I can remember literally, I was probably a freshman in high school. And I was sitting there, and I just happened to be looking down at everybody's feet, and I realized that every single person, boy or girl, all had white leather Nikes with different, red or blue or whatever stripes. And I was like, why? And I looked at mine, and I was like wearing Keds or something. And I was like, I just don't have it. Like, I don't understand. That I never even knew what.
I don't fit in.
I whatever was on my feet was whatever my mom still laid out for me. Probably I wasn't even paying attention.
Of course, right.
And then I was like, I don't even know what those are. I didn't even know how to ask for
See,
them.
in the
So I was the same.
When I was in high school, a trade school, it was the 70s.
Yeah.
The early to mid 70s, and we all had tight bell bottoms and platform sole shoes. You had to have the platform sole shoes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
And the bigger your platforms were, the cooler you were.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wasn't like a real fashion conscious kid,
sure,
but I wanted those clothes.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So I got them.
Yeah.
But looking back at my kids, they couldn't care. And my oldest son only wore black for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Only black. If it wasn't black, he wasn't wearing it. Well, and he wasn't a goth kid or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
the way
I only wear black. That's it.
Okay.
Since he was like 3.
Yeah, yeah.
He had his pair.
Wow, that's
he had
funny.
his pair of sweatpants that said Wilson on them.
Yeah.
And we called them his Big Wilsons. And he would wear those 7 days a week if you let him.
Wow.
And my youngest kid had a shirt.
Oh no.
I won't even get into it. Yeah. But we framed it.
Oh boy.
It was called The Shirt.
The Shirt.
Yeah. It was a Health Tech's blue striped shirt that he wore until it looked like cobwebs. And we would hide it. And he would find it. And we'd go into his bedroom. He'd be sleeping in it.
Wow.
And he wore it until you couldn't wash the smell out of it anymore. It was just hilarious. The shirt, the shirt is famous in my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Shirt.
The Shirt.
We were talking about the Catskills, Dave. Didn't you play there?
Yes, I did.
A bunch?
I played there in the early 80s when it was like done. And I remember the guy, I was telling John, the guy said, Shecky Green played this room.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you're like, who?
no, I knew who he was, but I was like, what, 1951? You know?
Yeah.
Grossinger's, Pines.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where we played. I just remember they had a gold lame curtain in back of the stage, and the entire room was red shag carpeting. Oh, yeah. It was great.
Wow.
And it stunk like urine, the whole place.
Yeah, cigarettes. Yeah.
Hadn't been cleaned in like 40 years.
Yeah. It
Still
happens.
open, though.
Yeah.
We do rock bands now because that's the happening thing.
Right, right. You come in with your bell bottoms,
Exactly.
platforms. So funny.
It's funny because we were still wearing those in 1980, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Bell bottoms and the platform shoes in 1980 were still in. It was like in 1981 when the new wave thing really started happening, that they went away.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Don't forget the Nehru jackets.
Oh, those. Yeah, those are the 60s. 1966, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
You see old pictures of Peter Tork
Mm-hmm.
hanging out when he's not a monkey, but hanging out in Laurel Canyon with that.
Yep.
He's got the love beads, the Nehru jacket.
Yeah.
He's got the haircut perfect all around his face. And
So funny.
oh, it is funny. When you look at it now, like Freddie Mercury said, we looked ridiculous then, but it worked.
Yeah. Well, everybody look ridiculous, I guess. When you all do, doesn't make any difference. Yeah, we're getting close. So, I mean, you kind of said it all. I think I feel like we need anybody out there who wants to come in and talk more about Eamon. You're more than welcome. Whoever, You know?
Yeah, I would reach out to the Max Creek guys
Okay.
because they were very, very close with him,
Okay.
and they probably know him better than any other band
Well,
in the world.
if you go
know?
to the services, just mention it. I'm not trying to get guests.
No,
I
will.
just mean, if people want to use this as a service
Yeah, as a forum to
commemorate,
to
so
tell
that it
the guy's
exists.
story. Because
Yeah.
it's a long story.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back to Midnight Sun. What was that 1988, 89?
Yeah, it must have been.
Right. I have a picture of him playing with the Twin Towers in back of him.
Oh yeah, I
on
heard about that picture.
Someplace in New York City.
Yeah, yeah.
When he lived there, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Great picture. And he looks so young in the picture, too.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about that. So yeah, somebody reach out, and we'll keep this going just to have something to commemorate the sad news.
Well, the Crystal Beast thing that's going on this Saturday is not an official tribute.
Right.
It was already booked.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Eric Smith asked me if would we still do it, and I said, if we don't have his sister and his family's blessing, we're not doing it.
Right. Sure.
Because it's really soon.
Right, because that would be disrespectful.
Right. So we talked to them, and they were like, yes, absolutely.
Oh,
go,
good.
Go play.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got guest stars coming up, and
Yep.
a lot of friends, and everybody's going to, and apparently if you don't get there early, you're not getting in. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, no. it
But
would
then
be
we are planning on an official tribute
okay.
in late November, between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
Where we want Pitchell there, we want Jimmy
Yep.
Bell there, we want
Yep.
everybody there
Yep.
up and play. It's going to be a big fiasco.
Okay.
And we really want that to be his real
That'll be
tribute
the
send
thing.
off.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well,
This is kind of an impromptu.
Yep. Right.
Sad as it is, he would have told us to go play.
Sure.
Because
Yeah, of
you
course.
mentioned the word canceling a gig, he used to get livid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, when
Yeah.
he fell off the stage in Spain, they said he tried to climb back up on the stage. And it was the security that grabbed him down and said, dude, you can't get back.
Talked his brains back in and said,
your head is broken. You got to go to the hospital. And he told me, he said, I remember trying to climb back up on the stage.
Wow.
Fell 21 feet, landed on his head.
Ooh, that's not good.
And he survived. That's a tough dude, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that has anything to do with, the outcome of last Friday.
Yeah. Who knows?
Indirectly, it may have. I really don't know enough about it to comment.
Yeah.
But I just know I'm sad and I miss him and I wish he was still here,
Yeah.
Like I said, our late night conversations on the phone were more fun than the gigs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean, he was just, he loved to talk.
Yep.
And he loved to talk about music and he loved to talk about what we were going to do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
This is what
yeah,
we're going to
yeah.
do. And apparently back when the band was really popping, he was in charge of it all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was taking care of all of it.
Okay.
And he was working with different agents.
Yeah, yeah,
But it
yeah.
was like nothing would happen unless he
Yeah.
approved it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And he was very, very responsible of bringing the band. And I didn't realize when I joined just how huge they were.
Yeah.
Not now, but
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Sure.
Like I said, I saw them for the last 3 notes.
Yeah,
Opened
yeah.
for Jeff one night, and I got there. Me and Jerry Becker got there, and we got there late. And I wanted to see the band. And I remember I literally saw 5 notes, and we were done. And,
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
That's only 4 notes.
That's it. Yeah, that's really all I remember.
That's funny. Oh well, let me ask you before we go. What was your favorite? I asked you what was the most challenging. What was your favorite Doors song to play?
When the music's over.
Oh, okay.
That's just my favorite
Yeah.
Doors song to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and there's a song that no one ever heard. It's called Your Lost Little Girl.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful, just guitar and Jim, basically.
Yeah.
And Eamon called me up one night. He goes, learn that song because I want to do it. And no one in this band has ever done it with me.
Oh, wow.
And I listened to it and I went, what a beautiful
that's
song.
cool.
It's a really pretty, beautiful song.
Yeah.
It is so undoors-like, you wouldn't
Okay.
believe it.
Yeah.
And I learned it. And, of course, I learned the solo note for note.
Yeah.
And then Rob learned it. And John Pell already knew it. And we did it the first night we did it. It was great.
Oh,
It was
that's cool.
And it's a real contrast to the set. So you do it in the middle.
Did the Doors ever even do it live? Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's recordings of them do it live. Yeah. The words, it's like the same verse over and over. It's not. I think there's only one verse, but they do it 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like this elaborate Jim poetry
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance to hear it, I think you'll like it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I called him back and I went, I've never heard that song before. Thank you.
I've heard the title. I don't think I
Thank
know.
you for telling me about it because I'd never heard it.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
you know, something came out recently that I got. It was the Doors at somewhere in San Francisco, but like in '67. Like it's crickets. There's no one there,
Real, yeah, right.
and they're really good. They sound really good.
I got to be honest with
You
you.
know, it's encouraging to hear them do their thing, and then just hear people like,
Yeah, right.
you know, like they don't, but they're still
You
don't
hear
sound like any band.
Queen live at the BBC.
Right. Yeah.
One guy.
Yeah.
It's like, and the band's
Yeah.
off the chain.
But they sound
you know?
good. They sound really good.
I had never seen any Doors live stuff, and then I watched the Isle of Wight,
Oh yeah.
and apparently they didn't bring their lights with them, and they were told to, and they didn't. So they had one red light.
Yeah, right.
on the
That's it.
The band is incredible.
Yeah.
Morrison sings perfectly.
Yeah, great singer.
all night long.
Yeah.
You know, and I like I said, they got by me when I was a kid.
Sure.
They know that wasn't Guitar Shredder enough
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, sure.
But and they were always on the radio.
Yeah.
So you always heard them.
Yep.
So the songs are embedded in your mind.
Sure,
They're
sure.
etched in your brain.
Yep.
And I never really gave a damn about Jim Morrison. I actually thought he was a real jerk.
Sure.
You know. Then when I started watching this stuff, he wasn't, the drunk that they claimed. he was.
Right.
You can't be a drunk guy like that and put out 7 albums in 2.5 years.
Right.
That are
Right.
platinum, incredibly great albums.
Totally.
And I had never listened to any of the albums, and now I've listened to all of them
Yeah.
in their entirety and going, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I could never have written all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Ray Manzarek was a genius.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
He was really, you could tell he was the musician of the band.
Mm.
You know, and the drummer, like we talked about, had no idea.
Totally underrated.
Oh my God, totally underrated. The guy's a monster.
Yep. Monster.
When he brings it, when the music's over in the beginning
yeah.
of that,
Yep.
John Pell nails that stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, he's.
Yeah.
I just love playing with him.
That's cool.
And the first gig, when Eamon went to the hospital, I said, "Listen, you're gonna have to give me cues." He goes, "I give you cues like this." I said, "Thank you."
Yeah, right.
He was
That's
like,
how
I do
something's
that
gonna
anyway,
happen.
But
Yeah, when I get to the end, fall down.
yeah. But yeah, he is the cue master.
Yeah.
Because when we played, the first person you watch is Eamon, because Eamon might change it in the middle.
Sure.
He's all over the road. You don't know what he's going to do.
Sure.
And so you're constantly watching him. And we were just breaking in a fill-in keyboard player that we just rehearsed with 2 weeks ago.
Oh boy.
And it was the only time I ever rehearsed with those guys.
Oh boy.
And we were trying to explain to him, you got to keep your eye on Eamon.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, sure.
watch him, but listen to us, because your cues are going to are coming from. He might sing the same verse twice.
Right.
You don't know. You
Right.
just don't know what he's going to do.
Right.
So
Just like Morrison.
right.
Yeah.
And we were flying by the seat of our
Yeah.
pants all the time.
Yeah, wow.
And thank God for John Pell, because man, he was so in tune with Eamon. He knew, because he played with him for 20 years.
Sure,
So I would always just look at John, and John just wink at me, give me the cue.
Here it comes.
But never missed a John Pell cue.
Yeah.
Just the greatest at cueing you.
Amen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we'll get him in here. Who
Oh,
knows?
he'll be here.
Yeah.
Oh, he really wanted to come tonight. He told me this morning.
Yeah.
He said, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? And then he
It
got stuck
happens.
up at Lynn.
All right.
A mess.
Well, you know what? We can get out of here.
Okay, man.
If anyone wants to hear what Skip's favorite albums are, or food, or whatever, go back and listen.
You got to go listen to the first podcast.
Listen to the first podcast.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken. Fried chicken. Queen 2.
Queen 1.
Oh,
Sheer
okay.
Heart Attack. First 3 Queen albums.
Yep.
Help.
Yep, sure.
Access Bolt is Love.
Yep.
That's the 5 right there.
Recap. Yeah,
That's
sure.
it. 5.
Yeah, that
And there's 600 more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That makes sense.
if I could only have 5, it'd be those.
Yeah. Far
Night
out.
at the Opera is awesome.
Yeah.
But-
it was past it.
Yeah, it was past my Queen.
I went through a Queen 2 bender this
God.
summer. I was just like, this
Isn't it
is
amazing?
insane.
Insane.
It's insane.
Imagine being 16 and just having realized that you can really play guitar.
Yeah,
And
man.
your brother comes home with Queen 2. My little brother.
Yeah.
Because I turned him on to Queen 1.
Oh, I
and he went
gotcha.
out and bought Queen 2.
Yeah.
And I really I could play guitar, because I learned from Rick Derringer on Edgar Winter's White Trash, the Road Book album,
Yeah.
Living in the USA.
Yeah.
When I met him, I told him that. I said, I learned everything from that song.
Wow.
But when the first Queen album came out,
Yep.
Rick Derringer kind of honed my chops, and then I just woodshedded that record.
Yeah.
And that was when I went, yeah, this is easy.
Crazy. All right, I'm going to press the button.
Oh, you go, boy.
All right, rest in peace, Eamon Cronin.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get somebody else in here to talk about him, please. So, whoever you are out there, reach out. My name is John Peckman. You can't miss me. I have a podcast, and the theme song goes like this. It's a John Peckman podcast. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland. Go over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a U, park in front of the music store with the red neon light, have your own podcast. Dave will tell you how. Come here on my show, talk about Eamon, or talk about yourself. The boys
talk about me.
Yeah, talk about Skip. Skip LeClair was here. Crystal Bees this Saturday.
Yes.
An impromptu kind of, and then there will be a for real farewell bash sometime in November.
Between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's what we're planning. We're
Thanksgiving
trying
and Christmas.
And it will be at Crystal Bees.
So stay tuned. At Crystal Bees, there'll be Eamon send-off. But rest in peace, Eamon. Somebody reach out and let's do some more, okay? Thanks, Skip LeClair. Thanks to Skip LeClair. All right.
You're welcome, John.
Peace out. Of course. All right. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.